Hey everybody, so we're going to do something a little unique road trip where you're just going to get the joy of staring at me while I drive. I wanted to show that I am still in fact alive. I'm backing out of my driveway right now. I'm going over to my friends Josh and Sharon. I wanted to give you guys an update because I posted some shorts, some cool little stories over the last couple days. But I hadn't been filming a whole lot, like live filming, because we're working on getting me better, and stuff is healing and all that kind of stuff. But I'm also trying to stay off my feet, be in a boot to sort of get the foot to heal a little bit more. And just, I'm doing well, but you're sort of exhausted. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. I'm just genuinely beat, tired. It's just another one of those moments where things are what they are. There's a lot of stuff, good stuff coming, I hope, here shortly. My nose is itching for some reason. It's just like this. That's probably something with my medicines. It just itches all the time. I don't know why. Anyways, we are doing well. There's a bunch of stuff that is coming up. This Thursday, it's Sunday today, I believe, the 4th, May the 4th be with you, for those of you that are Star Wars fans. And I think it's Revenge of the 5th tomorrow. But Thursday, I am doing a lecture on the power of preservation for the Preservation Trust of Lebanon County, talking about the importance of preservation. This is, in fact, in May is Preservation Month, celebration of preserving history. Then on the 10th, which is a Saturday, Lebanon Preservation Trust, or the Preservation Trust of Lebanon County, opens up its 4 buildings: Lights Fort, the Chestnut Street Log House, Lindley Murray Schoolhouse, and Moravian or Monroe Valley Chapel, whether it was Moravian or Lutheran. I've heard both. It was a mission. This is a beautiful building. It's one of my dad's favorite places in the world. I've taken you guys there on numerous occasions, whether long form, shorts, sort of celebration of the channel and what it has to offer, all that kind of great stuff. It's one of my favorite places. I love to do photography there just because that valley is so beautiful. Lindley Murray Schoolhouse is just so neat because it gives you a trip back in time to 1850s to 1880s schoolhouse, when education started to change and the public school system evolved from its origins to a little further in its history, and the importance thereof of that education that was offered. You have the Lights Fort, which is the oldest building, standing building in Lebanon County. Second oldest fort, though, which is unique because Fort Zeller is actually the oldest fort in Pennsylvania, but it's about 3 years, I think 3 years newer. Lights Fort, I believe, was built in 1742. The original Lights Fort, or original Fort Zeller, was a log structure. I think that was built in 1727 or 1725. So it was, I think it's 1725. It was about 17 years prior. But then they rebuilt it as a stone structure because the problem with wood structures is that they burn. And when you have a bunch of angry people coming to your fort and they have fire, that makes for a bad experience for the people that are inside. So they changed it to stone in, I think it was 1745. So it was about 3 years later after Lights Fort. So that's why it's a slightly newer building, and sort of the weird things with that. Why one thing is one thing. And we've got a car coming. They come up over the hill. I am currently on Heilmandale Road. I'm going on to Thompson Avenue, where Sycamore Springs Orchard used to be. That has now been sold. A lot of these orchards, unfortunately, the families don't want to continue because of how much work they entail and the profits just aren't like they used to be. So as the older generations gets to the point where they don't want to continue to have to do that, younger generation, their children don't want to continue these operations for obvious reasons. They wind out shutting down or whatever happens. It's just sad. It's another one of those unique parts of our history that these were places and staples in the community, and it's where you got your fresh food and fresh fruit and veg sometimes as well. Honey and all kinds of really neat things. And a lot of those places would have all kinds of unique fairs and corn mazes and whatnot. And some of them still exist today, some of them don't, and it's just part of our history. But anyways, so Lights Fort is an extraordinarily important place. We've visited there a couple times. Told you some of the history, some of the haunted history, and so on. And the last place is at Chestnut Street Log House, which I believe it's Jerry and Gary are the two gentlemen that are there. When we visited for the first time, we wound out doing, well, the first time where we actually went on the tour, we got 5 videos out of that, and it was a phenomenal experience. Jerry and Gary are a plethora of knowledge and information. It's just a really neat experience to learn from them. From the sort of frontier colonists gardens and their importance and what happened operated off of the land that they had right there at the house, and what were the jobs of, what everybody sort of did. Then you get to see the different rooms, their German names, some of the unique features like the door, and that had its name, and the Bible and the cross were sort of in the form of the door. It was a very cool tradition that came over from the old country. And then you saw the spirit window. It's the presumption is the window next to your bed is the window that when you passed on, your spirit went through that window up to heaven. And a lot of cool traditions. Don't leave via the gate or door that you came in by, because then the devil can follow you out. Just unique traditions like that, and just cool stories and folklore and things of that nature. But that is a place you can also visit. I believe they open it on Wednesdays, either starting May or June. I'm not sure if it's every Wednesday. I'll have to look that up again. I'm going to be going there with Josh and Sharon and their kids on Saturday. I'm also going to be showing them that really cool Asian is a memorial to 2 people that were born in China, and it is a stunning memorial. It's just not something like I've ever seen before. I'm sure you go to like near big cities like Philadelphia, New York, you'd see stuff like that, but it's just, we're going to stop there first, check that out. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing any kind of videoing, just because I want to enjoy this with them, and them get to see, and the kids get to learn the history of the place and all these different places, and just get a unique perspective on American history and the history here in Lebanon County. So I'm not sure. I'll probably do shorts just because I want to have something from it, but beyond that, I don't think there's going to be long forms. I am going to try to start in the next week or two the Lebanon PA 250. You got the 250th anniversary of the United States and the Declaration of Independence when we became a nation. That's coming up next year. There's a lot of events that are going to be happening this year leading up to it, making people aware of what's to come. So I'm going to be starting at Salem Lutheran Church in Lebanon, which was one of the first places that the Declaration of Independence was read. The pastor there was, I'm probably going to get this wrong, because the Muhlenberg family, they had the father who was, I think, Peter Melchior Muhlenberg, or he might have been Henry. I think it was Henry Melchior, if I'm pronouncing it right, Muhlenberg. He was one of the patriarch of the Muhlenberg family here in America, but he was also one of the founding fathers, along with John Casper Stover, for the American Lutheran Church. His sons, Peter Muhlenberg, and I believe he was a senator and things like that, but then I think it was the John Muhlenberg. I'm not sure if I have that right. I even just looked that up, and my brain just does not retain things sometimes. But he was the pastor over at St. Luke's, and he took over from his father for Lutheran Church with St. Luke's in Schaefferstown, and their sister was the wife of Christopher Schultz and the mother of John Andrew Schultz, who became the 6th governor of Pennsylvania from 1823 to 1829. And you have that connection to him in the school system, because that was one of the things that he wanted to accomplish. He saw a need for a public school system. I believe it was his successor who then got it done. And then by 1850, it was going strong, and that's when the one-room schoolhouses started to come into function, like the Lindley Murray Schoolhouse. So it's all this history is connected. But anyways, the I think it's John Muhlenberg. It'd be Johann or whatever it is, but I think I even have that wrong, perhaps. He became the first and the fourth Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. So, an extraordinarily important part in our history. His father, Henry Melchior Muhlenberg, he was very important with relationship with Baron von Stiegel in Mannheim. And I think he founded the church in Mannheim, the Lutheran church there. So he did a lot. They were a really, really cool family. At some point, when I start doing documentaries, I want to do something on the Muhlenberg political and religious dynasty, that they really played an extraordinary role in the founding of our country. I know Peter Muhlenberg, the brother of the gentleman that became he was a general, I think a brigadier general. I think the John Muhlenberg, the guy that became the House of Representatives, the Speaker for the U.S. House of Representatives, I believe he was also he was involved with the Revolution somehow. Neither one of them lived. I mean, for back then, living to 50 or 60 was a long life. You know, not a ton of people lived to 70, 80, but I think both of them, they died relatively young. Like, I think the one brother, Peter, lived to maybe 60, 62, but John, the Muhlenberg that became the Speaker of the House, he only lived to like 51, 52. It was not a terribly long life, but he did a lot in that life. Extraordinary family, though. I mean, it was a political dynasty that lasted well into the 1800s, and they made a huge difference throughout the new country and the founding thereof. But so that'll be something that'll come up. There's going to be 2 series there, just the same as the when I start doing stuff for Visit Lebanon Valley. There's going to be a video that has the hometown historian credentials on it, sort of before and after. The ones that I do directly for PA or Lebanon PA 250 will have their credentials before and after. I just have to get access to those, and then putting videos on and that kind of stuff, so that there's still a bunch of groundwork to get done in those. Here at some point, I got to start working on the last of these lecture series that I've already done, start getting those filmed, start getting the ones that we have done edited, and put those up for you guys so you can get used to that series. Because a lot of these places that I do these, they're closed functions. You know, the stuff I do at the Isaac Meyer Homestead is not, but I'd still like to have it available for those of you that aren't going to be able to make it to that. So the Daniel R. Fisher one with Myerstown, A Time of War, I had to script that, and then we had to film it and edit it and put it together. That one I really want to get scripted really, really well. I really also want to get it filmed really, really well. So it could be something that could be beneficial to Lebanon County Historical Society and Isaac Meyer Homestead, where it's on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever it has to be on. And then can wind out being professional enough that people will actually buy it, and 100% of the proceeds go to those two organizations. Which, you know, any fundraising that you can do for those types of organizations is essential. But anyways, maybe something even that just came to me now, to help Preservation Trust of Lebanon County do a tour and a video of these places, the 4 buildings, and then have that as a DVD that people can have to watch, and, you know, people that can't come the whole way out can get that sent to them, and it's another way of supporting. I always love when people drive out on the road when it's wet and you mow your yard and it's like schmoo. It's especially dangerous for like motorcycle riders, and I'm not one of those people that's like, you know, it just, whatever. I mean, you do you, but that's extraordinarily dangerous for somebody coming along. It's like people that I used to hate when I did landscaping and mowing. I never blew stuff out in the road. I did everything I could to blow it into the yard and not do that because it's ignorant. I get people do it, but it's like motorcycle rider comes along, even somebody on their bike, you've created a surface where, yes, I'll quit my like, don't do that. I'd never have any interest in riding a motorcycle, and I don't know if bike riding's ever in my future because I'm old, fat, and potentially missing a leg. I think my future is pirate ships and, you know, scurvy. I be a pirate, a Scottish pirate. I do apologize. I get excited sometimes. But anyways, some of the videos that will be coming out here in the future once I start getting these done, because I'm not going to have a ton of energy over the next month or so. I have some stuff that I've done over the last year. I just haven't put together yet. We turned to Cold Springs because Missy took us out there. I went and found my book that's on that, which is written by a father and son with a lot of help from Brandy Watts, Ralph, or she's Brandy, I'm not going to give her last name, but Brandy, who's Ralph Watts' daughter. She is brilliant and knows so much about Cold Springs and Stony Valley, but her knowledge of that and her mom was a major help to them to be able to get that book done. But it's an extraordinary book, extraordinary pictures, and just being able to see what that place used to be. It was an amazing place. Unfortunately, time and the way societal changes are, that people just didn't go to those type of places anymore, ended it. We have that. I want to do the actual Lycans video of the Hometown Foundations, not the silly one with the werewolves. But I want to do, because it's a cool town with great history. And really, it's a pretty town. A lot of cool history with that town. I have that. I have a couple of these different ones with the Zimmerman family, the Zimmerman sisters. What else? There's some more. Oh, the Daniel Jones and their family. I want to do a bunch of stuff there. So I'm going to have a bunch of videos like that. I'm probably going to be approaching the third of the Hey, I Didn't Know That About My Hometown History. There's a pretty cool thing that I want to try to do on that it's another unique bit of history that you just don't realize. Wow, I didn't know that about my hometown history. So all that stuff is coming up with the channel over the next couple weeks. It's going to be sparse yet here I'm going to try at the very least. I need to get at least 1 or 2 shorts out with the unique stories that I find and those types of stuff. Today I did the story of Bob Fletcher. Just a neat story. I think you guys will enjoy it. It shows, it's another one of those, hey, that's pretty cool. It's a positive message. I want to do that more and more, because I'll tell you, like, the climate right now, at least here in America, it's pretty brutal, and it makes it really, really sad, because a lot of hate going around, unnecessary. I am pulling out on Route 322, and it's sort of terrifying, but anyways, you want to present some positivity, share that positivity, be that positivity, and make a difference, make the world a better place. So anyways, I'm almost here. I want to let you guys know, thank you for sticking with me, continuing on this journey. I say that a lot because it is what it is. It's you get so exhausted with everything from antibiotics to just infections and that type of stuff that it just makes you tired. And with that comes a little bit of depression. So your continued prayers would be appreciated. And I just want to say thank you as always, and we will see you all about town.